Okay, today is Sunday, July 24th, 2011. I thought I'd do a really quick shot of our Eggtooth Studio and shop. So I'm your tour guide and unfortunately narrator. So anyway, I'll make this as quick as possible. So here's a shot of the front of the shop. Now we built this, I don't know, over the past, say, 6 years. It's been finished about 3 years. Karen and I built it ourselves with some help. We had some contractors. It's located in Graveyard Gulch, which Graveyard Gulch, our property, has a seasonal stream that runs through it, and it goes down and empties into the Scott River, which is a tributary to the Klamath. That's about a half a mile from down the gulch from here. That beautiful peak across the way is at an elevation of somewhere over 7,000 feet, like 7,200 or something like that. We're at an elevation of about 2,800 feet here. The shop is also behind the house. Here's the back of our house. We have about 11 acres of mostly forested property, timbered property with oaks and pines and fir trees, 3 or 4 acres of kind of meadow-like. I think it's actually man-made or human-made meadow. So you can kind of see some of that there. So we'll go inside. The shop is let's see, 24 feet wide and 40 feet long, the building. And this is the shop part. This is a single story in here. And this is 24 feet by 32 feet. And actually, I think that maybe I'm wrong with the measurements anyway. So this is 24 by 32 in here. There's a couple of, there are actually 4 cedar doors here that open to the front. We saw them from the outside. I made these. They're double doors, 7 by 7 foot openings, 2 of them, so that we could move materials in and out. There's a wood stove for the winter time, lots of machinery, big dust collection system to help keep things clean. Okay, so it's hooked up to the major machines. Like this is my planer here, and the joiner. Those are the two principal machines I use for flattening wood. So the boards that I get sometimes come rough, like those back there, with bark on them and stuff, so I have to flatten them out before I can make them into furniture. A couple of saws there, the band saw, and then my joint maker saw. Another saw over here, lots of saws. This is a sliding compound saw, cut-off saw. Here's my one of my joinery machines. A couple of layout tables, layout and glue up, and all kinds of work happens here. Here's a, let's see, this is a 24 by 42 inch coffee table top that I'm working on right now. One of the pieces I'm working on. Drill press, router, a 1968 Davison Wells boring machine. I use that for cutting mortises. My workbench that I built in 1996, I think, so it's about 15 years old. And there's one of Karen's kilns. She has 2 kilns, one of them set up here. We'll go into the back room here. This is about, I think this is a 12 by 24 room, which started out kind of like being, the thought was a den and place to relax, but it's kind of turned into more storage and finishing for my furniture finishing. I never planned in any room to actually do the finishing of the furniture. So here's some boxed up pieces of furniture here. some end tables and some display stands, and then here's the new little, this is a lamp table. This is a beautiful little piece. Then we go over here, and there's parts and pieces lying about here. Here's where I do most of my finishing here on this little 4x6 or 3x6 table. You can see some coffee table legs for that go with that tabletop out in the other room, and then some stretchers here that are oiled and drying. So that's kind of how I do it, a piece at a time. There's some other completed pieces that are dried, ready to be assembled. Apron blanks, and tabletop, and more stretchers, and more a shelf and a tabletop, just various things. So that's where we do most of the storage. So we'll go upstairs now to Karen's studio, where she works on her jewelry. This is a really nice room, hardwood floor, nice red oak floor, and a couch, and there's the prototype of the first of my display stands with a life-size raven sculpture on it that we got at the Wild Arts Festival a few years ago. So this room is where we do most of our business accounting work, and Karen does her jewelry work. So Karen's working over here right now on some pieces. So what are these pieces right here, Karen, on the table here? They're drying, huh?
Yeah, we have a mix of pieces here on the table. Some are texture from sugar pine cone.
Like these ones on the balls?
These here and those teardrops are textures from sugar pine cone before the bracts had opened. Let's see, these square ones are new this morning. I made a new mold of California poppy leaf on a nice pebbled background to give some contrast to the textures. I think those are going to be really beautiful. And then these here I'm really excited about too. Those are molds I made just this morning from large ornamental poppy pods. Once the pod was all dried out, I was able to get a nice mold of them. And
so these are all bronze pieces?
These are all bronze, and these are going to be big, showy earrings. I think they're going to be really beautiful. Some nice detailed texture there.
Cool.
And
so why are these pieces on little cut-in-half balls?
For those pieces, I think they look best if that round shape is slightly domed. It just presents the texture in a really beautiful way rather than being flat. And there's been good response to them. People really like them, so I'm going to keep doing them that way. And yeah, that's a nice low-tech way of getting a beautiful dome shape.
So then over here you have your molding material and other things you're using to shape and texture the pieces.
This is what the mold looks like for the sugar pine cone. It feels right now the consistency is like really hard, super hard, tough rubber. When it first comes out of the jars, it's in two separate compositions. It feels like thick putty. I mix them together. It sets up in about 10 minutes, especially on a day like this. And then this is the result, and it captures the texture really well.
Cool.
So that's it.
Yeah, there's Karen at work at her bench. Bye, Karen. Have a fun, adventurous afternoon. The rest of her stuff kind of spread out on this 8-foot-long bench she's got. And
I'll clean it up in January.
Then she's got another small freestanding bench over here that she uses for other parts of her process. Oh, and here's some finished charms here in bronze laying on her table. So let's see. So we have a view out the back of our neighbor's property. The nearest neighbor's about probably not quite a quarter mile away. There's the dog kennel there, though they hardly ever stay in it. And that's probably about it here. So that's all we have for the quick tour of the Eggtooth Originals Studio.